Hey guys, so today for this DIY I made some succulent terrariums all from the Dollar Tree, and this is how they turned out. I really loved it, so if you want to see how I made these, please keep watching. Hey guys, so I got 3 of these terrarium planters from the Dollar Tree. They are plastic, they're very sturdy and thick. I really like these for my terrarium planter that I'll be doing. Then I picked up some black stones. These are nice and big to hold the moss down. And then I got some green moss, floral moss. They also had a ton of these cute little fake succulents. And I'd like to grab the fake ones because if I were to grab real plants, they'd probably end up dying on me. And I don't want that to happen. So I grabbed a few of these. I really like the red and the green ones. Those were my favorite, but the purple were really cute too. So I didn't have scissors to cut the tag off, so I just used my hands to rip them off, but it'd be easier if you use scissors for this. So with the floral moss, I just grabbed little pieces and tried to tear it apart, and then I placed it right in the center of the planter, and then I tried to build it up as best as I could so it would wrap around towards the back of the planter, so it looked like it had grass towards the back growing, as you can see. And I just keep adding moss until I get to the point where I really like how it looks. Next, I'm gonna open up these black rocks. I love how they're all different sizes, but they're all very heavy as well, so it'll hold the moss down. And I was just placing in there all the bigger ones first before I added the little ones. So this is what it looks like when I put all the rocks in there. I also try to put some rocks towards the back so that way it'll hold the moss up towards the back and it looks really nice and secure. And then whatever additional moss was on the table, I just threw that in there. With these, it does have foam inside, so with the first one, I was just taking it apart because I wasn't sure exactly what I was going to get, so I just took my time and ripped it off as slowly as I could so I didn't rip the stem part of it. And it was actually fairly easy. I didn't have any issues trying to take it out of there. So that's what it looks like, and I just place it right in the center in between the rocks and the moss. And this is how it turned out. So I'm just going to grab a little bit more moss, break it up, and try to put it around the fake succulent just to give it a little bit more character and to bring up the succulent a little bit more. And here I'm just picking out some smaller rocks to put right underneath the succulent. And then I broke up some more of the moss and just added it right on top of the rock so that way it gave it a little bit more character as well. And this is the end result. This is how it turned out. I really love it. So we're gonna move on to the other two. So what you're gonna do here is the same step as we did with the first one. You wanna place the moss right in the middle. Make sure you break it up and just place it however you would like. So what I did with this planter was I grabbed the smaller succulent and I put it on the right side, and then I grabbed the other smaller one, just twisted it off and put it on the left side. I really wanted to put both of these together because they're both smaller and they would both fit in the one planter. Just make sure you try to place them as best as you can and the way you want them. I just put them right next to each other and put some more moss and some more stones to make sure it held them in the right way that I wanted them. And this is how it turned out. I really loved how this one turned out as well. I also got these pebbles. These are all the different shades of brown pebbles, and to give them a little bit more color and more character, I wanted to add these different pebbles into the planterns, and I felt like it made it look more natural, more real, I guess you could say. And I really like how it looked. I did have to move my succulent around just to make sure I placed it the right way that I wanted it, and that was the end result. Again, I really loved it. So moving on to the third planter, you want to do exactly the exact same steps as the other ones, and just break up the moss, place the stones, and then make sure you twist the succulents off the foam very carefully so you don't rip the stem, and just place it in there the best way that you would like to make your planter look. And for this planter, I used the purple with green succulent. I think this flower is so pretty. I absolutely loved it, and I just put it right in the center, and that's how it turned out. I also got this planter that I thought was super cute from the Dollar Tree, and since I had some moss and some rocks left over, I decided to just fill it up and use this as another succulent little planter design. So what I did with the moss, the extra moss, I just broke it up as best as I could and just placed it into the planter, as well as grabbing all the pebbles that I had left over and just placing it right on top. Then I grabbed the black ones, which are the heavier ones, and just place them in random spots just to hold the moss in place. As well as the succulents, I make sure I twisted those off, and I just pushed them into the moss and used the rocks kind of for support. And this is how it turned out. I really like how it just all blends together and the rocks make it look all nice. So now I'm going to use this cotton twine. I decided to get the white one instead of the brown, and some scissors. So where I'm holding the planter, and that's where I will be placing the twine, and I'm going to make sure I double loop it to make sure it's nice and secure. I also did 2 double knots to help with it being secure as well. And I lifted it off the table just to see how well it would hold up, and it actually held up very nicely. I was actually pretty surprised about that. But just to be on the safe side, I did a 3rd knot, and it worked very well. And again, I just did the exact same steps for the 2nd and the 3rd one, just making sure I made a good knot, and I tied it at the end, and I made sure I also measured the length because I wanted them all to be different lengths. So this is how they turned out. I really love them. I've always wanted to do a terrarium planter, but I didn't want to use real plants, so I was really excited when I was able to finally do one with the fake succulents, and I was able to do them all different lengths. It just looks really amazing, and I'm very happy with the end result. And this is the planter that I had the leftover moss in, and I really love how this turned out as well. I hope you guys loved watching this video, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.